Welcome. Today I'm going to talk about Saint Francis of Assisi, one of the most loved saints in history. He's known for his humility, love for nature, and dedication to serving God through a simple life. We'll learn about his life, his works, and why his legacy is still important in this modern day. Saint Francis was born into wealth, so he had everything. He was born in His life started in 11,081 to 11,082. He was born in 1881 or in 1882. He was a son of a wealthy cloth merchant, and he lived a carefree and luxurious youth. Francis was born into wealth, so he had everything he wanted. As a young man, he enjoyed fun, music, and friends. At this point of his life, he had no plans for becoming a saint. He was living for himself. After joining the military, Francis was captured in battle and spent years as a prisoner. He became seriously ill, and that time made him think deeply about his life. Later, he felt God's call, telling him to rebuild his church. At first, he thought God meant praying a small chapel, but the message was bigger? Francis made a radical choice. He gave up all his money, possessions, he even returned his clothes to his father and lived simply, wearing a rough robe. He believed in living like Jesus, poor, humble, and close to people. Francis saw all of his creation as part of one family under God. He spoke he spoke of brother and son and sister moon. He even preached to the animal. That's why he is considered the patron saint of the animal environment and the nature today. Francis is also remembered in miracles. In 12,024, he received the stigmata, the wounds of Jesus Christ on his hands, feet, and side. This shows his deep unity with Jesus' suffering. Death and canonization. Francis died at 44 years old, but his life had a huge impact. Just 2 years later, the Pope declared him a saint. A great basilica in Assisi was built to remember him. It is still a place of pilgrimage in this modern time. Legacy and lessons. Saint Francis' messages are still powerful today. The message is live simply, love people and nature, and serve God with humility. To conclude everything, St. Francis of Assisi shows us that living for God does not require wealth or power, just a humble heart, love others, and care for the world or the environment around us. These are frequently frequently asked questions on St. Francis of Assisi. Some of you may ask the questions. So, question one: who was St. Francis of Assisi? St. Francis is one of the most beloved saints in history. He gave up a life of wealth to live in poverty and service to God. His simplicity, humility, and love for all creatures made him an inspiration worldwide. Question two: why is St. Francis the patron saint of animals and the environment? He often preached to birds and spoke about nature as a reflection of God's glory. He called the animals his brothers and sisters, showing his belief in harmony between humans and creation. Question 3: what's the main message of St. Francis of Assisi? St. Francis of Assisi taught that happiness or wealth or power, but he St. Francis taught that happiness doesn't come from wealth or power, but from humility, kindness, and service. His his life, his living is an example of this message. Question 4: When is the feast day of Saint? What is the feast day of Saint Francis of Assisi? On this day, the church often holds special blessings for pets and animals in memory of Saint Francis. Saint Francis's love for them. It is also a day to reflect on caring for the environment. The last but not least question 5. Even centuries after his death, Saint Francis of Assisi's influence can be seen in Franciscan communities worldwide, environmental movements, and even in a pope who took his name as a symbol of humility and care for his creation. So these are the readings for today. For the first reading, was taken from the book of Wisdom, chapter 18, 6 to 9. I'll post it in the comment section. For the responsorial psalm, I was taken from Psalm 33, 1 to 12, 18 to 19, 20 to 22. The second reading was taken from Hebrews 1 to 8 to 19. The gospel acclamation was taken from the book Matthew 24 to 42 and a part of 24 and 42a and 44 too. The gospel was taken from Luke 12, chapter 32 to 48. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.